Om Shanti. This is the English Murli of Sunday, the 20th of January, 2019. The original date of the Murli was the 12th of April, 1984. The title is The Foundation of Brahmin Life is Purity. The foundation of Brahmin life is purity. Today, Bap Dada is looking at all the holy swans to see to what extent each holy swan has become holy and to what extent each one has become a swan. To what extent have you put purity, that is, the power to become holy, into your life, that is, into your thoughts, words, deeds, relationships and connections. That is, sankalp, bol, karma, sabandh and sampark. Is every thought holy? That is it filled with the power of purity? With thoughts of purity, are you able to recognize and transform any soul who has impure thoughts? With the power of purity, can you change the vision, drishti, attitude, vritti and actions, that is kriti, of any soul? Even impure thoughts cannot attack you when faced with this great power. However, when you yourself are defeated in your thoughts, words and deeds, it is then that you are defeated by other people and vibrations. To be defeated in a relationship or connection with anyone else proves that you yourself are defeated in terms of forging all relationships with the Father. For this is why you are defeated by some relationship or connection. The seed of being defeated in terms of purity is to be impressed by someone or by his or her virtues, nature, personality, or speciality. To be impressed by someone or his or her physical presence is not to be impressed but to be ruined. The individual speciality, virtue, or nature of a person is a speciality given by the Father. That is, it is a gift from God. To be impressed by someone is to be deceived. To be deceived means to take sorrow. The power of impurity is power like a mirage, which is easily experienced through connections and relationships. It attracts you. You think that you are being impressed by goodness. This is why the words you say and think are, I like this one a lot. I like this one's virtues and nature a lot. I like this one's knowledge. I like this one conducting yoga. I receive power and cooperation from this one. I receive love from this one. You receive temporary attainment, but you are deceived. You forget the bestower, the seed, the foundation, and are holding on to a colorful branch and swinging. So, what would be your condition? Without your having a foundation, will the branch make you swing or make you fall? Until you have experienced the sweetness of all relationships and all attainments from the seed, that is, from the bestower, you will continue to be deceived by attainments that are like a mirage from different branches, sometimes by people, sometimes by material comforts, and sometimes by the vibrations and the atmosphere. To be impressed in this way means to be deprived of everlasting attainment. When you have the power of purity, whatever stage you want, whatever attainment you want, and whatever task you want to succeed in, they will all become ever present in front of you like a servant, whenever you want. Even at the end of the Iron Age, you see the evidence of the elements of nature being the servants of the great souls in name who have imbibed the power of Rajapradhan purity. Even now, their name of great souls continues. Even now, they are worshipped. Impure souls bow down to them. So, just consider how great the power of purity of the end is, and how powerful the Sattva-pradhan purity that you have attained from God would be. In front of this elevated power of purity, impurity has not just bowed down, it is under your feet. The devilish power of impurity is shown under the feet of a Shakti. How could something that is defeated and is under your feet defeat you? To be defeated in Brahmin life means to be Brahmin in name only. Don't be careless about this. The foundation of Brahmin life is the power of purity. If the foundation is weak, how would the building of 21 stories of attainment be able to stand? If the foundation shakes, the experience of attainment cannot be there all the time. That is, you can neither remain unshakable nor can you experience the great attainment of the present age and birth. You would become knowledgeable devotees who sing praise of the age and this elevated birth. That is, you would have the understanding, but you yourself would not become that. This is called being a knowledgeable devotee. If, after becoming a Brahmin, you haven't experienced the blessing and inheritance of all attainments and all powers, then what would you be called? A deprived soul or a Brahmin soul? Understand this purity with all its different forms very well. Keep a stern eye on yourself. Don't just move along. You even try to be clever with the instrument souls and also with the Father. This happens all the time. Who has become this yet? Or you say, this is not impurity, it is greatness. This is a means of service. I am not being impressed, I am just taking cooperation. I am impressed because he or she is a helper. As soon as you forget the Father, you are hit by Maya's bullet. Or, in order to free yourself, you say, I am not doing this. The other person is doing it. However, if you forget the Father, you will meet him in his form of Dharamraj. You will never be able to experience the happiness of the relationship with the Father. Therefore, don't hide anything. Don't just make do. Don't blame others. Don't be deceived by the attraction of a mirage. In this foundation of purity, Bap Dada will give, through Dharamraj, 100-fold, multi-million-fold punishment. There cannot be any allowances made in this. He cannot be merciful in this. For it was because you broke the relationship with the Father that you became impressed with someone. To move away from God's influence and to be influenced by souls means that you don't know the Father. You have not recognized the Father. The Father is not in front of such souls in the form of the Father, but in the form of Dharamraj. Where there is sin, that is Bap. The Father, that is Bap, isn't there. Therefore, don't become careless. Don't consider this to be a small thing. To be impressed with someone, to have desires, means there is a trace of the vice of lust. You cannot be impressed unless there is some desire. That desire is the vice of lust. It is a great enemy. It comes in two forms. Desires will either make you impressed or they will cause you distress. So, just as you chant the slogan, "The vice of lust is the gateway to hell," in the same way, have the dharana in your life that any type of temporary desire is as deceptive as a mirage. A desire means to be deceived. Therefore, keep a stern eye and become a form of Kali for this vice, that is, this desire. Don't take a loving form and say, "He is helpless, he is good, he has just a little bit of this, it will work out all right." No, adopt a fierce form over the vices, not for others but for yourself. Only then will you be able to destroy your sins and become an angel. If you are unable to have yoga, then check. Definitely, some hidden vice is pulling you to itself. It is impossible for a Brahmin soul not to be able to have yoga. A Brahmin means you belong to one. You are all one. So, where would you go? If there is nothing else, where else would you go? Acha. It isn't just celibacy, for there are other children of the vice of lust. Bap Dada is so amazed at one thing. A Brahmin says that he has a wasteful vision and attitude of vice towards another Brahmin soul. This is defaming the family clan. You say, "Sister" or "brother," and what do? If someone has impure vision or impure thoughts for his lokic sister, he is said to be the one who is defaming the name of the family clan. So, what would be said here? Not those who defame the family for just one birth, but for birth after birth. They are those who kick away their fortune of the kingdom. Never commit such multi-million-fold sin. This is not just a sinful act. It is an extremely sinful act. Therefore, think, understand, and be careful. This sin will cling to you like the demons of death. At present, you may think that you are living a very enjoyable and comfortable life. Who sees you? Who knows anything? However, sin upon sin is accumulating, and these sins will come to eat you. Bap Dada knows how severe the result of this is. Just as someone leaves his body in a lot of pain and suffering, in the same way, the sins will cause the intellect to have pain and suffering while leaving the body. These demons of death of sin will always remain in front of you. The end is so severe. Therefore, at this time, don't commit such sin even by mistake. Bap Dada is not telling just those who are sitting in front of him, but he is making all the children everywhere powerful. He is making you cautious and clever. Do you understand? As yet, there is still a lot of weakness in this subject. Acha. To those who understand the signals that are given for themselves, to those who adopt the form of Kali for their own sinful thoughts and sinful deeds, to those who save themselves from being deceived in different ways, to those who save themselves from sorrow, to the powerful souls, Bap Dada's love, remembrance and namaste. Now follow the elevated versions of Bap Dada. The title is Become Brahmachari That is those who follow Father Brahma in thoughts and activity. To be a brahmachari means to follow the activities of Father Brahma. Let each footstep of your thoughts, words, and actions be in Father Brahma's footsteps. Let Father Brahma's activity be visible in every action you do. Let your thoughts, words, and actions be like those of a brahmachari. Those who are brahmachari in this way are always seen to be introverted and in supersensuous joy in their face and behavior. Brahmacharis are those whose every action reveals the activity of Father Brahma. Their words are similar to the words of Brahma. Their way of doing everything is similar to the way Father Brahma did everything. Let the sanskar that Father Brahma made his own when he reminded everyone at the time of renouncing his body, that is, when he became incorporeal, viceless, and egoless, that is, nirakari, nirvikari, and nirhankari, be the natural sanskars of you Brahmins too. Only then can you be called brahmacharis. Let your sanskars and nature have the newness of being equal to those of the Father. Do not excuse yourself by saying that that is your nature, but let your nature become the same nature as the Father's. To take the vow of purity does not just mean celibacy, but every word you speak has to be filled with the vibrations of purity, like Brahma. Each word of yours has to be like an elevated version. They cannot be ordinary, but uniquely spiritual. Every thought you have must be filled with the importance of purity. Every action you perform should be seen as an action of a karma yogi. Every action must be filled with yoga. This is what is meant by becoming brahmachari, celibate, and brahmachari. All of you have seen or heard how, although Brahma Baba was in an ordinary body, he was seen to be the most elevated. Even now you can see in the subtle form that, whilst being ordinary, he has the sparkle of being most elevated. Follow the Father. Even though you may be doing ordinary work, let your stage remain elevated. Let your face show the influence of an elevated life. Let everyone experience seeing the Father in every action you do. This is known as being brahmachari. Father Brahma had special love for the Murli. That is why he became a Murlidhar. The future Sri Krishna is also shown playing the Murli, that is, the flute. So, to love that which the Father loves is a sign of true love. This is known as loving Father Brahma, that is, to be a brahmachari. Before you perform any action, speak any words, or think any thoughts, first check whether they are equal to those of Father Brahma. Then think that thought, speak that word, or perform that action with your physical organs. You did not say that you didn't want to do that, but it just happened. Father Brahma had the speciality of only putting something into practice after he had thought about it or spoken about it beforehand. Those who follow Father Brahma in the same way are brahmachari. On the basis of having faith and spiritual intoxication, and of knowing that everything is predestined in the drama, Father Brahma made use of everything in a worthwhile way within a second. He didn't keep anything for himself, but used it all in a worthwhile way. You saw the practical proof of this. You saw that even up to the last day, he served through his body by writing letters and speaking elevated versions. Even on his last day, he used his time, thoughts and body in a worthwhile way. So, to be a brahmachari means to use everything in a worthwhile way. To use something in a worthwhile way means to use it for an elevated purpose. Just as Father Brahma was constantly cheerful and yet remained mature and sincere, just as he maintained a steady balance between the two, so you too must follow the Father. Never be confused about anything or allow your mood to change in any situation. To follow Father Brahma constantly in every action you perform is to be a brahmachari. Father Brahma's favorite slogan was, "Achieve greater glorification through less expense." So, demonstrate this by achieving greater glorification through less expense. Let there be less expense, but let the attainment from whatever you spend be very beautiful. You need to be able to accomplish a lot and yet have less expenditure. This means that you mustn't use a lot of your energy or thoughts. You mustn't use many words, but through the few words you speak, let there be greater clarification. Let your thoughts be few but powerful. This is known as achieving greater glorification through less expense, that is, as being an incarnation of economy. Father Brahma practically demonstrated belonging to one Father and none other. In the same way, those who are becoming equal to the Father have to follow him. Just like Father, have the determined thought never to get disheartened, but always remain happy in your heart. Even if Maya tries to shake you, you must not fluctuate. If Maya adopts a form as big as the Himalayas, at that time, do not try to find a path, but just fly above. For those who have a flying stage, the mountain will become like cotton wool within a second. You clearly experience the personality of purity through Sakar, Father Brahma. This is a sign of the experience of tapasya. In the same way, let this personality be experienced by others through your face and through your form. Father Brahma is a symbol of being a karma yogi in the corporeal form. No matter how busy someone may be, no one can be as busy as Father Brahma. No matter how many responsibilities you have, no one has the same responsibilities as Father Brahma. So, just as Father Brahma remained a karma yogi whilst fulfilling his responsibilities and considering himself to be the one who is doing and performed all action as Karanhar, he didn't consider himself to be the one inspiring, that is Karavanhar. As Karanhar, that is the doer, he didn't consider himself to be the one inspiring, that is Karavanhar. Similarly, follow the Father. No matter how great a task you are performing may be, think that you are dancing according to how the dancing teacher is making you dance, and you will never become tired or confused, but remain ever happy. The blessing or Vardhan is, may you be a great and powerful soul with the power of truth who constantly dances in happiness. Again, may you be a great and powerful soul with the power of truth who constantly dances in happiness. It is said, where there is truth, the soul dances. Those who are truthful, that is, those who have the power of truth, will constantly dance. They will never wilt, get confused, be afraid, or feel weak. They will constantly dance in happiness. They will be powerful. They will have the power to face everything. Truth never fluctuates. It is unshakable. That is Achal. The boat of truth may rock, but it will never sink. So, souls who imbibe the power of truth are great souls. Slogan: to stop a busy mind and intellect in a second is a most elevated practice. Again, to stop a busy mind and intellect in a second is a most elevated practice. Om Shanti. Now follows the point of special effort to become equal to Father Brahma. Just as Father Brahma always remained absorbed in God's love, in the same way, the basis of your Brahmin life is God's love. God's love is your property. This love enables you to move forward in your Brahmin life and so constantly remain merged in the ocean of love. Om Shanti.